and 0. TikTok live number 35 now. Here we go. Sunday, middle of October. I don't want to say the exact date, but we're getting there. So here we go. Luke asked the first question. Predental Luke. Awesome. We got the recording going. All right, let's go. Peter the Fleist joined. What's up, everyone? Luke said, how's it going? Yeah, it's going good, man. Had a great weekend. Actually, yesterday was awesome. Went on a hike with my girlfriend out in Smithtown. It's where we're going to be moving next summer. So it's nice to get out there and get excited about where we're going to be moving after I graduate, because we'll be working out there in Melville. And we went on a nice hike. Our second date was a hike. And technically our first was too. So it was actually the place where we went on the hike the second date. It was both of our first time back there since. So that was really special. Went to the brewery, met my dad there, went out for dinner at night. I went to go see my grandfather too, because it was his birthday last week. And I went to his assisted living home area, and he wasn't there. He took his truck out and drove somewhere. But yeah, that sucked. We drove all the way down there and went to hang out with him because I don't get to see him much. And he was gone. He got his big red truck and left. Anyway, Luke, I know that was more than what you asked. I thought that was just funny. Luke Jai, should I do GPR, AEGD, or just go straight into the practice? Oh, by the way, guys, this is TikTok Live number 35. The 3 people to stay on the longest, because the TikTok Live system tells me the stats at the end. I'm going to be giving you guys a shout out on the podcast on YouTube in the caption. So, all right, I'll be naming you guys at the end. All right, here we go. Who, AGD or this is Luke Jai, AGD or GPR, or just go straight into practice? Well, it depends on how comfortable you feel with doing procedures, treating patients on your own. I think dental schools these days, they're making money off of students now. They're not making money off of patients, right? And I'm not saying patients are to be made money off of. You're supposed to treat more patients, but the more patients you treat, the more profits that are made, right? Now they're making profit off of dental students. They're not necessarily, there's no incentive to get students into clinic more because they learn that training in GPR and AEGD residencies. So these dental schools, look at them all. They're making money off the students now because that's the incentive, right? If you look at the incentives, especially for institutions and people, even financially, you generally follow the trail. Plus, getting more students to see more patients and whatnot, that's a lot of overhead for the headache. That's a lot of headache overhead for the institutions. So why would they do that? Just plugging in a couple more students in each class without increasing overhead, right? That's literally what's going on today, unfortunately. Yeah, think about how experienced you feel with these procedures, if you feel comfortable doing them. And then from there, you'll go decide if you want to do a GPR or not. GPR is how you're going to do it. Grace said hello. What's up, Grace? Hey, Grace. Luke Predental said, does Columbia OS alternate hospitals like your program does? I believe they do. I think they do. I didn't extern there, so I'm not familiar with their setup, their layout. But Lauren asked, how do you feel about non-categorical internships? They are actually a crucial part of the team. They are very important for oral surgery programs now. They're helping out with taking call. They're helping out covering clinics and stuff. And it allows the higher up residents to get more into the OR, to do bigger procedures. And they're graduating to be oral surgeons. So they need to do those things. An intern is there for 1 year and then leaves. And it's really good for the intern, the non-categorical intern. It's really good for the hospitals because they pay them the same salary as a first-year resident, which is the lowest salary in the hospital, believe it or not. It's pretty far down there. I made it. I'm 4 years in, and I'm still not making. I'm still making $20,000 less than first-year out nurses, like the 4-year nurses. Right now. I'm at 7 more years of schooling than them. 4 of them was for a doctorate level degree. And I started out getting paid roughly $25,000 less. Crazy, right? Interesting. And the nurses are great, but we work hard too. So Adelk 100755. I'm an international student and I applied for my postgrads ortho. Any advice for interviews? Yeah, remember, interviews are a conversation. It's not a multiple choice test, so don't treat it as such, Think about what the interviewer might be interested in. It's a conversation. Just think about topics and talk about things that you both enjoy, get an idea of what the program has, and figure out a way to fit that into conversation where you get to show little hints of who you are, and where you came from through your life and how you got to this point that you're interviewing for a post-grad ortho spot. So that's generally my take on it, and you'll be just fine. Just keep going. What questions we got, guys? What are we doing? What do we got? BIOS Creations joined. User 466, the live. Awesome. Chris Cook joined. M joined. Anna joined. Georgios Red joined. Veneers joined. No Name joined. I Am an Avocado joined. All right. Jimena Melgarejo. How are you paying for your school? Any advice? So right now in residency, we get paid. In residency, the surgical training, we're getting paid. I mean, we take call. We're on for over 24 hours at a time. Some days, many days. And so we get paid for our residency, generally because we're taking call and whatnot. Jackson asked, are you an attending yet? No, not yet. 9 months. 9 months. Luke Predental said, what was your area of study for in dental research? So not all dental school, like you're not required to do research in dental school. But what I did was it was on using laser applications to basically clean all, like do an SRP, scaling and root planing, or cleaning off the surfaces of implants where there's peri-implantitis and trying to, clean the areas. They're using lasers for it. And so what we did was, as you know, lasers, it generates energy. It's energy transfer. And it heats up that implant because the implant's metal, right? It heats up fairly quickly. And why is that important? Because the bone around the implant, you're trying to clean it and maximize growth, healing, whatnot, right? But that bone can necrose if it's heated up more than 10 degrees Celsius within a minute, a short amount of time, right? That causes necrosis of the bone. You're going to lose that implant down the line if that happens. So we were taking data on how long it takes. It's about a minute or less for the laser to increase the heat of the implant more than 10 degrees Celsius. That was it. I thought that was pretty cool, right? We don't usually clean implants, but we do put them in, and I thought that was very important. So yeah, I've never talked about that on podcasts before, actually. Bios Creations. Who has more authority over patient care, an attending or a chief of a particular service? The chief is a resident. That's just a resident. The attending is above that. And William Dean, play some weird all Yankovic eat it. What? I don't know what that means. William Dean. All right. Made in Korea 99. No questions. RDA 20 plus years. Nice to have an RDA on. Awesome. 20 plus years. We got a veteran on here. Angry face emoji said, how do you like doing OMFS residency in the city? I live in North Carolina, and that's where I want to go. To New York City, I mean, it's good. The city itself is changing in the last 3 years here. It's got a little less clean. There's a lot more people on the streets, and it's noticeable, very noticeable over the last 3 years. Otherwise, I mean, I like it because I don't have to drive to go to and from work every day during residency, and that could be very important. For example, after like a 36-hour shift in the morning, you're going home, you're falling asleep. The minute you sit down, you're falling asleep. And if I was to go behind a wheel, and I have friends, I know people in other residencies that, like that one dude, Omax Face, he ended up in the ICU for a couple weeks because he was driving home and he got in a car accident because he fell asleep at the wheel. He did over a 36-hour shift, whatever it was. It was crazy. We had that on the podcast, by the way. And so, yeah, I tried to look forward in thinking, and I was like, I think a city area is best for that. I'm closer to family here too. It was a program I was very interested in, impressed with on my externship trail. It's like when you spend a week at the program seeing what they do. And yeah, so it all came together, and that's how I ended up here. So the reasons why I liked it here proved to be very good. My commute time getting to and from all the hospitals is 10 minutes. I mean, that walking too, that's amazing. Made in Korea 99 said, miss it. Miss being an RDA, so you retired. Congrats. Kobe Florence 77. How did you know dentistry was for you? I mean, it was more so the people that I admired, the people who had mentored me at the time. And I had shadowed a few dentists from the gym that I went to, one being an oral surgeon and the other guys being general dentists. They were all best friends and buddies. And they were awesome. I looked up to them at the gym, and I went and saw what they did for a living. And I was like, I think I can be pretty excited about this too. And that's how I got into it. And God, I miss those days at the New York Sports Club in Smithtown. It's crazy because when you're young, you don't realize that. Like, I went to that gym for 10 years, probably about 10 years, since like 2008, maybe even 12 years. And it's crazy. You just, in the moment, you love it. It was a big part of my everyday routine. Sometimes I went in twice. They had a basketball court there, so I was practicing basketball in high school. But in hindsight, it's like that gym's gone. Like they couldn't keep up with it. They weren't investing into it, and they shut it down. But you don't realize until hindsight where it's like these moments that are so great for literally like 10 to 12 years, there's such a finite amount of time and a fragment in the entirety of your life at whole, if you think about it. It's just a crazy thought to me. And it makes you look back and appreciate it. So now when I kind of have a little thing in life where, like, for example, going to the brewery yesterday with my dad and my girlfriend, that beautiful, like, little thing, great brewery, great atmosphere. The people are like family now. We know everyone when you walk in, they know you. And I don't know, I find it to be fun. I really enjoy that. But it might not last forever, which is a crazy thought. So therefore, what I'm getting to is like it helps you think of in the moment more. And that finite amount of time in my memories of going to the gym years ago and meeting those dentists, they mentored me. They like told me what to do, and I got an A in organic chemistry. I was a kid. I was early in college, and yeah, finite amount of time. So looking back, that's a special memory for me, and it coincides with going into dentistry. Jackson, when you become an attending, whoa, we got a lot of questions now. Okay, I gotta move. When you become an attending, is the Fierce Flow going to return? I don't know what Fierce Flow is. Money? I hope so, but I'm not going to be an attending in a hospital. I'm going to try and get as far away from a hospital setting as possible. I mean, I find the hospital setting to be very toxic and just, it takes away from your life rather than giving back, get it back. And it has nothing to do with patients. I just see hospitals kind of abusing just the healthcare setup. I would like to see it become different over time and more patient-centered, which means providing for the providers and fostering their environment and experience and clinic and OR setting. Like, I don't want to get into that rant right now. For another day. Jennifer, I've been in dental hygiene for 5 years now, and I'm considering going back to school for OMS. Well, you got to go back to dental school first before you apply. Do it, Jennifer. Jennifer said you're inspiring. I appreciate that. And any way I can help, just DM me on Instagram or LinkedIn for that matter. Let me know how I can help. Predental, that sounds really interesting. Lauren followed the live creator. Thanks, Lauren. Teresa Wright, 264. Oh my God, last night my first molar broke off at the gum line. Ouch. Ooh, that's low. Once it's really below the CEJ there, it becomes more difficult to restore. I hope it works out. Try and get to that dentist soon. Luke Predental, any updates on the Cybertruck? Yeah, actually, they said it's ready. I can't afford to get it right now. I really have to wait till like March, April, May, unfortunately, like closer to graduation. What are you going to do? Meanface said, are you at Montefiore? Nope, I'm not at Montefiore. The Montefiore's a great residency program. Awesome. And I know a lot of residents there. They're pretty sweet. Clips, you should get in touch with Pat Monahan. He's an oral surgeon now. He just graduated from Montefiore last year. He's out there now practicing, and he's in North Carolina. So you might be able to link up. Maybe you'll shadow him, get some insight from his perspective, because he did graduate from Monty. There you go. Clip said, I just got accepted in med school. Are you aware of any route to get to OMFS from med school? I'm not aware of any route. I mean, if you've got to get accepted into med school in the United States, no, there's not a clear route. Like it's not directly to OMS from there. Khaled0328, how many research publications did you have in dental school? 1. Very, very lovely. Is this that dentist living in that small apartment? This is my small, tiny apartment. It's like this. It's like a little box. Teeny, tiny apartment, but it gets the job done. I like it. It's a little warm in here tonight because they have the heating system on, and it was like 75 degrees out today. What are you going to do, Timmy Turn, how does work-life balance as a resident in OMFS? This year, it's a little bit better. That being said, I start the city hospital rotation tomorrow, and everything changes. It's the very busy, hectic one, so we will see. I might not get onto podcasts in a while, so I'm recording this one. It might be some weeks. I'm on this rotation for eight weeks, so 2 months, and I'll be podcasting a lot more after, but I'm going to kind of take a little break. I have one on Tuesday. Break because I have to. This rotation is very time-consuming. But yeah, work-life balance has been tough, but this year it's been better so far. Very, very lovely. Was that guy who paid your rent or whatever for show? No, he actually I came in the back door of my apartment complex that day, and he was knocking on the front door, and I was like, hey, you have a friend upstairs or something that you want to see? And he's like, no, actually, can I see your apartment? And he didn't look like threatening, so I was like, and he had a guy recording, so I was like, I get it, okay, all right. And so it happened. Yeah, that was funny. Very, very lovely said, are you in an OMFS NMD program or just OMFS? Just OMFS. Well, they're both OMFS, but I'm the non-MD. I'm not getting my ND. There isn't a need. Rashi said, hi, funny, I actually just shadowed you at Bellevue on a rotation and you showed up on my TikTok. Rashi, what's up? What's going on? It's so funny. That's really funny. Electric Existence said, hi, Electric Existence. User 1222, what CBC EPC do you think is competitive for 4-year versus 6-year programs? Yeah, 70, 75, I would say is competitive. Yep. John Bill, are you still swing? I don't know what you mean. John Bill said, my wisdom tooth looks like it has a dark spot on it. Ooh, you should get that checked out. You could go to a general dentist to get that checked out, but if you're going to have it removed, it might be a good idea to get an evaluation and opinion from an oral surgeon. Kobe Florence 77 said, RDA, and I'll be attending dental school in the near future. Nice. What's some positivity you could give? Yeah, I would focus on effective and efficient studying. So first off, this is obvious, right? You want to have effective studying. So the more you study, you want that grade to go up. Efficient studying is actually almost the opposite. Now you're trying to study less and less, but still obtaining that score you're looking for, like an A in the 90s. I would really focus on your self-awareness and figuring out how to do that fresh out of the gate when you start dental school. All right. Elijah said, is there an easier route to dental school instead of taking bio, chem, and physics for prerequisites? I'm not sure. No, I think you got to take all those bio, chem, physics. You got to take those. An easier route? No, I don't think so. Ernest Menifee 3, follow the live creator. Thanks, Ernest. Thanks, my man. Timmy Turn, how is work-life balance as an OMFS resident? It's getting better. It was not great in the beginning at all. It is getting better. Mean Face said, Pat went to my dental school and he no way. And he just gave us a talk last week about his residency. That is so funny, dude. Yeah, I love Pat. He was awesome. He was there when I externed there, and he's a dude. I still keep in touch with him, actually. So I hope he's having a good time down there. If you see him again and you get to shout him, tell him I said hello. Tell him I said hi. Matt Stefanish, very, very lovely chat. He should make a dentist-themed spicy page. Matt Stefanish, D2 here. How much would you take dental school debt into consideration when applying to an OMFS specialty? Well, if you do, I wouldn't take dental student debt to, I mean, you got to do a thing that you're excited to do every single day. And if you can get enough externships to figure out if that's what you want to do, if it is what you want to do in oral surgery, I mean, you should always take it into consideration because you need to have a game plan of paying that back. But I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like that, I wouldn't consider that as like, should you go into a specialty residency or not? Does that make sense, man? Eric Newin said, does the hospital faculty staff ever treat you differently because you're a dentist? Yeah, they do actually. They do, unfortunately, but it happens. M thought this was Owen Hunt for real. I get that a lot, especially the TikTok, the comment section. it is Owen Hunt. But yeah, they do treat you differently in the hospital setting. Sometimes, I mean, other residents and medical doctor attendings they're just like, I don't know, they put less of an emphasis on you, or I don't know, they'll make fun of you like shadily, not meaning it, but they deep down they think it, you know. User 1222, I get a 72 EPC, 77 conversion. Do you think I should retake D3 at UPenn, starting to do research right now? Well, if you're starting to do research, that's going to take time away from studying. That's a pretty good score. If you have time, so you're just starting D3 year, yeah, you have another 2 shots at taking it. I would retake the CBSE over doing research, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, I mean, you got the score you need, so therefore I would actually do both, right? Study for that CBSE, but put the time in you need to do research. Your GPA is going to count really importantly after that, if that makes sense. Okay. Timmy Turn 24, do you still have to take board exams as a resident? Yes, you do. We have the OMSITEs. The 4-year residents here take the OMSITEs every year. Marissa, does Gal get, and then also we take the board exams, 2 parts. One's verbal and one's like an examination. That's the board exam, like right after you graduate, to be a board certified oral surgeon. Marissa said Galgate's block get long buccal nerve. Yes, it does, if you do it effectively. Timmy Turn 24, because it's the trigeminal nerve. It's V3. It's the mandibular branch of the trigeminal nerve, right? So Timmy Turn, what's the difference between an internship and an externship? Why do you need them? An internship is the first year of residency. An externship in the oral surgery dentistry track, that's when you spend a week at the residency program, shadowing them, assisting them, seeing what they do every day in and day out. Matt Stefanish said, yes, it does. Thank you. You got it, Matt. You got it. T.I. said, do you want to hear it? I'm struggling with keeping up. What study methods do you recommend? I recommend Quizlet. That was my thing. I'm a very visual learner, and you'll see, make your Quizlets, use the premium version, figures, photos, diagrams on every single slide, a different one on every single slide. Make it question and answer for that Quizlet, right? And then it's all about reps. It's about repetitions, okay? Predental, did you ever consider perio? Nah, I didn't consider perio in the beginning. Kennedy, what do you do when someone has stanky breath? Well, I mean, you could be a homie and tell them they have stanky breath, or you could just let it go. And, you know, if they find out that, I mean, it's tough though, right? Because you could say, hey, you want a piece of gum? I've done that before. It usually works. They're usually pretty receptive to that. Stanky breath people usually want a piece of gum, if they know it or not. And then you have those few where they have stanky breath and they have no idea and they don't want gum. Those ones, you have to wonder, like, maybe they like having breath that smells like ass. Anyway, let's move on. Frown Face said, are CBSE scores in the 70s not competitive enough to apply? No, they are. They are competitive enough to apply. L2024 said, how many people in your dental school were hygienists? I think one or two in my class of 44. GTR Mac, how often can I do the Crest 10-pack whitening strip treatment? I don't know. I don't do cosmetic dentistry, and I had some exposure to it in dental school. That would be a question for your general dentist. Eric Newin said, which part of Manhattan do you live in? Kips Bay. Do you like the area? I do. Like I said, it's changing. New York City is definitely changing in the 3.5 years I've lived here. That being said, yeah, it's a nice place in the city. I like living here. I like my apartment, really, really. But there are nicer places in the city, and there are less nice places in the city. You know what I mean? Eric Newin said, Ashi said, any textbook suggestions for learning implants or surgical extractions? Yeah, I mean, you could look up oral surgery. You got Neville's pathology. No, that's pathology. Peterson's. Peterson's is a really important oral surgery textbook. But there's no better thing than doing it, And I would do courses for that, or potentially residency. Airplane mode. How do you like your residency? Well, there's positives and negatives to everything. A positive is I only have 9 months, 8 months left. I only have 8 months left now. Another month checked off. Yeah, but it's a big day starting tomorrow. 2 months of a very hard externship, rotation. I'm sorry. Yeah, therefore I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break in order to maximize my time on this rotation. All right, friends, signing off. The top 3 people that were on the podcast the most tonight, the live, I'm going to give you shout out in the caption of the podcast post and the YouTube, the full versions. All right, guys, I got to go. I got to get eat and get ready for tomorrow. All right, love you guys. Have a great week, everyone.